like to take this opportunity to tell you about something that I was able to personally experience for the first time over 13 years ago. I was a guest of China, and I had no idea 13 years ago when I went there exactly what to expect. All I can tell you is this. I went to China, I saw the Great Wall, I saw the Imperial Palace, I saw museums, I saw a beautiful countryside. I saw people and met people that I could have never imagined, and I've traveled all over the world. I went to the Shaolin Temple, and I met with the abbot, who is basically their spiritual leader in China and renowned all over the world now. I trained with the Shaolin monks. I trained in the sacred areas that people worked out in 1,500 years ago, cement that had been worn down from years and years, hundreds of years of training. I can't express enough what a trip like this meant to me. Since that day, which was Hong Kong back to China, July 1, 1997, I have gone and brought students and family and friends from all over the country to this place. And we have trained with the Shaolin monks. We have toured all areas of China. We've seen how the people live. We've lived with them, although we stay in really nice hotels. This experience is beyond anybody's imagination. We're so well treated in that country. The Shaolin monks have so much respect for the fact that people come from America and they go and travel all this way because they're interested in their culture and their art. There are no words that I could say that could match or parallel the experience that I have had personally and the thousands of students that we have taken over the past 13 years. I just want to say in closing that I will guarantee you that if you come with us, it will be the experience of your lifetime. And so many people come, over 30% of the people that go with us have never studied the martial arts ever. And there are many beginners all the way to degrees of black belt. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in China next year. Thank you.
When I first had the chance to go to China with the Grandmaster, wasn't sure what to expect. Wasn't sure that I'd be up to the task, that I would be able to keep up with the other martial artists that were going. I was worried actually that I wouldn't be able to keep up with the monks. But what I actually found was that they were very gracious, and that very accommodating, and that no matter what skill level you were, that they were very wonderful teachers, very accepting of whatever skill level that you were.
favorite part of the trip was definitely going to the Shaolin Temple itself. It was just an unbelievable experience to have the opportunity to train in a place where people have been doing the martial arts for over 1,500 years. That was something that was really, really special. In addition to that, just having the extreme privilege of training with actual Shaolin monks inside the Shaolin Temple itself was just an amazing, amazing experience.
We all got up, we trained really hard, did our forms in practice so that when we got to the Shaolin Temple we were nice and fresh and energized by the time we actually got to the temple, which was very important because when we actually got to the temple, we trained inside the actual temple. We didn't train outside the temple. We trained in the temple with the Shaolin monks, with the fighting monks themselves. And they trained us in very, very traditional old forms, which was very, very exciting and very, very rare opportunity.
Then we went, after that period, we went to Dongfang, which was the Kung Fu city where the Shaolin Temple is located. The Shaolin Temple was just, it's the center of the city. Not only is Kung Fu from the Shaolin Temple in the city where its base is at, but there's over 50 schools of martial arts within the city itself, and some of the best of students actually go on to be Shaolin warrior monks.
I went to the Shaolin Temple in 2004. It was a really, really great experience. Not only did we get to go to the Shaolin Temple, but we also got to go to several different cities in China. We started off in Hong Kong. We spent some time in Beijing. Got to do some really, really great sightseeing. Went to see the Great Wall of China. It was a really great experience, number one, to get to just see the Great Wall of China, to get to climb on it, and actually to do some limited training on the Great Wall of China was a really, really great privilege.
On into having a audience with the head abbot of the Shaolin Temple, and in that audience he spoke directly to us, and we also he had the fighting monks of Shaolin perform for us at the Shaolin Temple, and in that performance they performed actually one of the forms that we were learning and that we had learned at the temple, which was really quite a rare experience because we got to see how the monks were actually doing it.
The highlight, of course, of the trip was getting to study with the monks. I felt like I learned more in just a few days of working with the monks than I might learn on my own in months. And I took enough home with me that I'll be studying for the rest of my life and constantly perfecting.
China was an amazing experience for me. I went in the summer of 2005, and training with the Shaolin monks was the probably once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to do, and we learned so much from them. They were so welcoming, they were knowledgeable, obviously, and training was just fabulous. It was exhausting, grueling, but through everything, it was probably the most you'll ever learn in 3 days.
Another really great part of the trip was having the opportunity to climb up Mount Song and go up to Bodhidharma's cave. Right up the mountain, there's about 1,200 steps, and it's a pretty nice journey. You know, it was an afternoon event, and we climbed up to the top. We got to meditate in Bodhidharma's cave. Also, at the top of Mount Song, it's just an absolutely beautiful view. You can see, you know, over the whole valley. Just absolutely beautiful landscape.
Hi, my name is Allison Trado. I study at the Ridgefield, Connecticut School, and I had the privilege of going to China in 2001. I started studying in 2000, and when they advertised the trip to China, I was determined to go, and it was a great trip. It was my first trip out of the country, and I think the most memorable part about the trip is, obviously, number one, is studying at the Shaolin Temple, being in the atmosphere of where our form was, where it began, and also being at the Great Wall.
Going to the Great Wall and climbing up to a height where we couldn't really reach much higher and having this astounding view and performing right in front on where they put on the mountain One World, One Dream for the Olympics, which was an awesome time, which is actually shown on the videos that we took when we performed there, which was fantastic.
Obviously, standing on the Great Wall of China was probably one of the highlights. Being able to do that, walking on that, and looking out over years, thousands of years of history was amazing. And you just need to pinch yourself to believe that you truly were on the Great Wall of China, knowing that most people in a lifetime don't get a chance to do something like this.
The last trip to China was actually my first trip, and it was a fantastic and very awesome experience, awe-inspiring experience, and where I was able to see the culture and be part of the culture of China and all that the people can offer. We went to 3 different towns, or cities actually, you know, Beijing, Dongfang, and Shanghai. And Beijing, being the capital, is just an awesome place to be at the time. We were there right before the Olympics started, so everyone was all abuzz about what the Olympics were all about. The accommodations were actually quite fantastic. They were all 5-star hotel accommodations, which were an excellent, you know, for what we paid for, that was more than excellent accommodations. Great sleeping areas, fantastic food, just really comfortable all around, especially in the way it was set up between Beijing, then we went to Dongfang, and then we went to Shanghai. So after the training, we got like the best hotel in Shanghai, which was an extremely good payoff after all that training.
My name is Mike Meyer, Regional Director for the state of Connecticut, and this was my second time on the Shaolin China trip tour to China, and it just gets better and better every time I go there. First of all, the accommodations were amazing. We had 5-star hotels, first-class meals in the cities of Shanghai and Beijing. Perfect. The beds were great. They were nice and soft. The pillows were excellent. When we got off towards Daifang, which is where the Shaolin Temple is, the cuisine was more authentic, which was really cool because we're all really used to Chinese food here in America, but the Chinese food there has a lot less sodium in it and is definitely more authentic and incredibly tasty. Unbelievable dishes.
We also went to marketplaces, which were fantastic, that had such treasures for such a bargain if you were ready and willing to sit there and really talk with these people and bargain. And it was more of an adventure every time you actually wanted to buy something. But there were things you couldn't get at your regular supermarket.
The tour guides that we had almost became family to us. They were wonderful, very informative. And we packed more into a few days or almost a couple weeks of the traveling than I could imagine that you could have done in a month. It was that much very well organized. It was just a first-class trip.
The memories and experiences that I had in China will most likely definitely stay with me for the rest of my life, because it was a life-changing experience and it was fantastic and positive to the extreme. And I hope anyone who goes gets the same experience no matter what happens within the years to come. It's the spirit of Shaolin and just the turning point in many people's lives.
You have to take advantage of it and do it. When else are you going to do this? And you do it in such a safe setting with a group of people who are all there for the same reason, your love of martial arts. And it was wonderful to travel with everyone.
I would definitely, or anybody who has the opportunity to take advantage of going to China and meeting with the monks and training in the temple, which was an experience into and of itself, very surreal. Such a beautiful place that definitely take the chance. Definitely take the opportunity and go to China.